All right, today we're going to dive into something with a truly audacious goal to build an entirely new economy, basically from scratch. And it all starts with something you can actually hold in your hand. This is the BarNess Miracle Bar Challenge.
And that really gets us to the heart of it, doesn't it? Can a simple snack bar, something you might just grab on your way out the door, actually be the foundation for a whole new economy? It sounds impossible, so let's break down how they think they can pull it off.
So, what is this miracle bar anyway? Well, at its core, it's actually made of really simple, wholesome stuff. You've got whole oats, date syrup, peanut butter, tahini, cacao, and sesame seeds. That's it. Nothing crazy, just pure, nutritious food. And you know what? That simplicity is a huge part of the plan. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the bar itself. I mean, how do you go from these basic ingredients to something that's ready for the world stage?
Yeah, this is not just some experiment someone's whipping up in their kitchen. It's a fully thought out product. We're talking a 110-gram bar, each one individually wrapped, with a shelf life of at least 4 months. It's been designed from day one to be a serious commercial grade product that can be scaled up. And you can tell just how meticulous the planning is when you look at the specs. The weight, the shelf life, standard flow wrap packaging, it's all there. They're kicking things off with a 10,000 unit order and are already thinking ahead to get halal and kosher certifications. That tells you they're serious about global reach.
Okay, so we know what it is, but now let's get into the why. Because this is where the project's ambition really just goes to another level. This is so much more than just a snack. At the very heart of this mission is a simple, powerful idea, a 50-50 split. Half of everything they produce goes to keeping the business sustainable. The other half, it goes directly to charity and community programs to feed people who are hungry. It's a social mission that's literally baked into the business model. So this bar is really a tool designed to tackle 3 huge problems that people face: feeling financially insecure, not having access to good nutrition, and feeling disconnected from their community. The whole project is about creating a system that's fair, healthy, and transparent to address all 3. And that brings us to the wildest part of the whole plan. How on earth does a snack bar with a social mission become the engine for an entirely new economy? Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. I love this quote from the source material. It introduces this idea called the 24K challenge. And the whole point is to think of a box of these bars not just as food, but as a treasure chest. And that's not just clever marketing, it's fundamental to how they're creating value. So how does this 24K challenge action work? Well, you get a box of 60 bars. Each bar is 400 calories, so the entire box has 24,000 calories, or 24 kilocalories. The idea is that one of these boxes can cover about 2 weeks of food for one person. It becomes this standardized unit of real, tangible value. And this is the ultimate vision, an alternative economy. Just think about that for a second. Instead of our value being based on currencies that go up and down, it's backed by real physical assets. In this case, it's land that actually produces the food. The bar isn't just a snack anymore. It's a token representing that productive value. It's the currency of an economy built on real-world stuff. An incredible vision, right? But look, a vision is just a dream without a solid plan. So let's look at the actual concrete steps they're taking to make this thing go from a big idea to millions of bars getting made and shipped all over the world. And I want to be clear, this is not just theory. They're already laying the groundwork. As you can see right here, they've already pinpointed potential manufacturing partners in Israel who have the capacity to produce these bars at the scale they need. These are real companies they're looking at. And they're not just looking in one country. No, the search is global. They're also actively checking out manufacturers in the United Arab Emirates, which is a super important region for both the financial and the logistical side of this whole plan. And they're not just window shopping either. There's a really clear professional process here. First, define the product specs. We've already seen those. Second, contact these factories to get real quotes. And third, get samples and audit their capacity to make sure they can actually handle the massive volume. This is how you build a real deal supply chain. So how does this all kick off? Well, with a strategic global launch tour. It starts in Canada, where the goal is to lock in funding and buy the first piece of property for that land-backed system. Then it's off to the UAE to set up the financial side of things, and, crucially, put 3 different factories to the test to pick the main production partner. So what kind of scale are we really talking about here? The goal is to manufacture 2 million bars. Not a month, not a week,
2 million bars per day. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. The ambition is just on another level.
And if 2 million a day sounds absolutely wild, well, that scales up to 60 million bars every single month. And remember that 50-50 split? That means the goal is to provide 30 million bars worth of nutrition to charitable causes every single month.
So there you have it. A plan to feed millions of people, to create a new kind of financial security, and to build an entire economy, all starting with one simple 110-gram snack bar. It is one of the most ambitious ideas we have ever unpacked. And it leaves us with one massive question. Will it actually work?